Okay, so it's time for part two of the Toronto Daily News because I forgot a page. Probably get 6 hours sleep in the next 3 days, is what a snowplow driver told one journalist from CTV in their evening news. That's always good, talking about how busy it's going to be. But on a serious note, yeah, I've noticed, the snowplow drivers, some of them are a little bit out of. Good to know they're getting their sleep. So part of the DVP is shut down due to snow, or was on Monday. Um, hey, it just goes to show, those big highways, so reliable, they suck. So, Train is back in business. The provincial conservative government for the people decided to close it down. But of course, it was a huge disaster, so they brought it back. There's more support for a Ferris wheel than there is for a casino down on the waterfront. Well, surprise, surprise. City fees are going to go up. Expensive garbage bins are going to be all about $80. This is going to go up in Tories, his head of mayorship that spends our entire on an express percent of Toronto commuters, and then goes to the feds in the province for transit funding, and now they're raising fees and taxes on everybody. Awesome. So the guy who crashed into the bus full of Humboldt Broncos, he went into court. He faced a bunch of statements from victims' families, and they made a courthouse out of a gymnasium. Everybody. So somebody stole like emergency equipment, like Jaws of Life type of stuff, from a fire hall in Leduc County. And the car used to do it was stolen from Mayerthorpe, so having the license plate doesn't really help. This other thief stole a whole bunch of Nazi crap, got nabbed by the Edmonton police on his way out, only interested in the Nazi stuff. There's this, the conservatives are already wiring in the fake news on social media. Somebody tweeted this thing about how the carbon tax was going to cost her church so much. People were a little bit suspicious about it, and so after a while, the person had to correct herself and say, "Oh, my math was wrong. When I was talking about how carbon tax is bad, my math was wrong." Surprise, frickin' prize. Big City Mayor's Caucus has met with the Prime Minister. And they want transit money because they spent all their money on stuff for drivers. An Alberta construction clothing company is bucking the oil bust, right? But so if you don't have construction, you might as well make clothes for construction workers. And so they're saying that that's all well and good and stuff, but because in America they have so much less red tape, they do a lot better business with Americans than they do with Canadians. And if we had less red tape, it's very vague, right? Of course, they've got to be vague about it. When you're talking about cutting regulation, you have to be vague. You have to just say, "Oh, red tape. Oh, red tape is getting in our way." "Oh, what red tape?" "Oh, the red tape about like not cutting down those trees next to the salmon habitat." "Oh, right. Oh, red tape." It always turns out to be labor rights, environmental stuff. Red tape just means, what we're supposed to do, what reasonable people are supposed to do. So, of course, they're going to blame red tape and the lack of pipelines for their problems. But meanwhile, they might actually be making some pretty kick-ass, like contractor clothing. And wouldn't that be cool if, if Alberta and the prairies got this sort of new lease on manufacturing with become this supplier really kick-ass construction stuff to the world, because they've got like all of these stuff to do that. On that note, that's part two of the news.